Hello, my name is Elena Murphy, and today I wanted to cover an issue within the healthcare field. And if it's somehow not a problem for your organization already, it likely will be within the next few years. This issue is staff shortages. We know that our population is growing exponentially, and on top of that, one of the largest generations, the baby boomers, is getting into their old age and will need a significant amount of healthcare. While our population grows in size and age, our need for healthcare jobs does too. The number of healthcare jobs in America is projected to grow on average 12% between 2018 and 2028. This is a huge amount of growth for an already gigantic industry. So now we know that the healthcare industry is already in need of people, but with the baby boomers coming up on retirement age, we see just how many nurses will not be around to help out. On top of that, the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the demand for healthcare workers even more than what already existed. We have come to a point where we no longer look to the future to see a shortage of workers coming, but instead we are living it. Not only is the demand for job positions higher, but the demands of each individual position have increased as well. This means there are fewer staff members doing more work, leading to burnout and searches for higher paying positions since they have a higher workload now. So who does this affect? Well, the answer is simply everyone. The first and most obvious answer lies within the healthcare organizations themselves. There is a massive strain on individual employees across the industry, whether it be nurses, physicians, or administrative staff. These people are all being overworked to compensate for the ratio of healthcare workers to population size. This is clearly tough for workers themselves, but it also puts the patients at risk. Shortages like this can lead to lower quality of care due to lack of staff and burnout. Since nurses and physicians are merely human, these are not suitable long-term conditions for working. They will eventually demand either a pay raise for the increased work or for more staff to be hired. If these conditions are not met, the organization faces the possibility of its employees leaving for other work. If these employees are to leave, the quality of care for patients will suffer, which in medical situations can be life or death. Just for a moment, imagine a society that cannot rely on medical institutions for help. They do not have the proper amount of staff to handle the population they are meant to care for. There are going to be even more tightly packed schedules for offices like the family physician or dentist, meaning it will be harder to get in to see someone if you need to consult a doctor outside of your regular checkups. Even worse than that, though, is the fear associated with illness and injury would likely increase significantly if people knew they could not reliably go to the hospital or doctor for help. Hearing about a loved one's car accident would be all that much more concerning, not knowing if they are going to receive adequate care during their time of need. Being short-staffed leads to a myriad of issues both inside and outside of healthcare organizations. So how do we make sure these problems don't occur as the struggle for staffing continues? Well, there are ways to solve this. Some are short-term and relatively quick fixes, while others will take quite a while to notice the effects. One relatively quick way to do this is to increase wages. While it does not automatically generate more staff in the United States, it will help your individual organization. Because of the higher wage, more people will be inclined to apply for a position within the organization simply because the wage is higher than they can find at similar jobs in competitor organizations. Besides drawing new people in, employees are more likely to stay at a job that offers higher wages than other organizations in their industry. Additionally, employees tend to show a higher satisfaction rate with their jobs when they're compensated accordingly. People, especially young folks who just got out of college, need money to live and probably pay off some student loans. This may explain why employees rated compensation and pay the second most important contributor to job satisfaction. This means their quality of work will increase as well as because they are feeling like they are earning the proper wage for the effort they put into their jobs every single day. Once that happens, patients are able to receive a higher quality of care thanks to a wage that reflects the hard work and dedication that physicians and nurses are asked to put into their jobs. Besides having excellent pay, one more relatively fast thing an organization can do to increase the number of people who apply to work there is to have other benefits included in the employment process. being able to provide excellent and comprehensive health benefits is a huge help in trying to recruit potential employees to come work for your organization. As we are all well aware of, healthcare is extremely expensive, and knowing that your employer can help offset those costs is a huge relief and a big part of some people's job selection. Besides healthcare benefits, one more thing that can help pull people into the job is by offering flexible scheduling and extra paid time off. When you can't afford to keep raising the wage or offering more health benefits, try making their schedules reflective of an ideal that recognizes employees deserve time off, whether it be finding someone to cover their shift because of a family emergency, allowing them to take mental health days, or ensuring that they get a decent amount of time for vacations. These are all ways an organization can draw new employees in and help retain the ones they have now. Training is another key factor in helping make sure there is a draw into the organization. When students are graduating college and looking for a new job, there is always the concern of qualifications, both the recent grad and the employer. Offering comprehensive training can put both parties at ease, since the new employee will be trained according to their organizational standards. This also helps to ensure those that are hired from other organizations are able to perform to the standards and liking of their new current place of employment. Being able to help new employees feel less like they're swimming in the deep end when they enter their new job is crucial to helping them form good opinions of their new employment, which will likely help keep them around and raise the retention rate for current employees. The next solution is to have a great, positive work environment. No matter what type of place of employment it is, people generally prefer to have a good and healthy work environment. When you have a positive work environment, you can improve your happiness, increase your productivity, and motivate those around you. The culture within the organization should be one that fosters growth and learning, empathy, flexibility, and good communication. When any of these factors are lacking, it puts a strain on the employees who work there, decreasing motivation and energy to do quality work. Positive attitudes can be contagious, and for patients who are experiencing medical issues, having a staff team who is kind and willing to go the extra mile will help immensely through whatever the patient and their family may be dealing with. Another reason a good work culture can help with the problem for staff shortages is when word gets around that your organization is a great one to work for. People actively want to be a part of your team if they know the environment is one in which they are treated fairly and kindly. Good work culture is just one more thing that can help reduce your turnover rate as well as pull in more applications. Now, this is not a quick fix or a simple one, and it is not one that a single person can do on their own. But it is well worth it to make the effort to improve the culture that is pervasive throughout the organization. Another long-term solution to the problem of staff shortages is to create a recruitment program. Depending on the location of the organization itself, this could start at either the high school or college level. But if the organization creates a program that reaches out to students who perform well in school, it can try to get those students interested in pursuing a degree in the field and eventually a career with that organization. Depending on the size of the program that they are willing to make, students who join the program will be able to have access to potential scholarships, tutoring throughout school, and contact with someone within the organization as they make their way towards graduation, allowing them to have networking connections as they attempt to start their careers. The American Medical Association already has a program vaguely similar to this one, called the Medical Student Outreach Program. It is a recruitment tactic to get first-year medical students to join the AMA. This is a way to actively promote the organization and get students interested in joining. The same can apply to any healthcare organization that wants to increase its pool of applicants. This is not an easy or fast solution for staff shortages by any means, but instead, it is ensuring your organization that there is another generation of people who are willing and able to work for you. Implementing any of these solutions would be a great idea to help solve the puzzle of how to handle staff shortages. However, doing all of them in tandem with one another would be an organization's best bet for ensuring that they are able to acquire and retain enough employees to to provide the care their patients deserve. At this point, it is not enough to just hope that more people will apply to work. Employers need to be actively trying to recruit, train, and retain as many people as possible. This is one industry where if the supply of employees and the demand for care is not synced up, there can be fatal consequences. Staying one step ahead of the staff shortages that are obvious in many healthcare organizations is going to be the key for success. And below, here are the references I used while creating this PowerPoint. Thank you for watching.